This is John F. Kennedy International Airport on a typical evening. It's New York City's biggest and busiest airport. 9 terminals, about 175 gates, and approximately 500,000 takeoffs and landings per year. And this is one of Norwegian's Boeing 787 Dreamliners, which will be our home for the next 6.5 hours as we fly non-stop from New York to Stockholm, Sweden. The captain on tonight's flight is Norwegian's Director of Flight Operations, Johan Gauerman, an experienced aviator with 30-plus years on the flight deck.
Is it still as exciting as it was 30 years ago?
It is actually. It is because the Mother Nature is just changing all the time, and you have the challenge with the weather and the environment and new technologies and so on. It is really. I still, it's like a child almost.
While our cast and crew arrived at JFK about 3 hours before our scheduled departure, as we do for any international flight, the Norwegian flight crew of 8 arrived about 90 minutes before pushback.
When you start planning a flight and you know you're going to do a flight,
yes.
When do you start thinking about that flight?
I think about it when I wake up at the crew hotel. We download the flight plan to our iPad. That's that time I start looking at the fuel figures, look at the weather, the routing, the aircraft, and so on.
Norwegian is considered a low-cost carrier in the industry. No frills, if you will. But while we might be skipping the caviar, passengers enjoy paying only for what they choose, which makes flying longer distances more accessible and more affordable. But the #1 expense of a flight to any airline is fuel, and the Dreamliner is considered one of the most fuel-efficient aircrafts in the sky and one of the most technologically advanced in the industry. As takeoff drew closer, the captain invited us to the flight deck.
The modern aircraft, the latest ones, have the head-up display.
Wow.
But you need to be right here to see the display here, and that is pretty much the same as we have here, but it's in green.
But it's in green. Can I look in there?
Yeah, sure.
What do I see?
It's almost like a fighter pilot.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Tonight, this flight will be flying at 38,000 feet at 84% of the speed of sound with a good tailwind. Because this is considered a shorter long-haul flight, the captain and first officer will handle the flying duties. For longer long-haul flights, additional flight crew members are on board and operate the aircraft on a rotating schedule. And this secret compartment is so the off-duty flight crew can rest and relax out of public view. On the Dreamliner, flight attendants have a similar secret room at the back of the aircraft.
When you have strong winds, the advantage is that you have a shorter flight time, but the disadvantage, there might be some chops. But when I looked at the chart today, it is quite smooth actually.
Nice and smooth.
But still there might be some small chops.
As passengers began to board, the captain invited Erik and Harry to get comfortable for the takeoff right from the flight deck.
Are you really going to let us sit in here for the takeoff?
Yeah, it can be here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
After a private safety demonstration from the first officer, final preparations for takeoff were made.
Is there an aircraft directly ahead of us, or no?
Yeah, there's one here.
Got it.
And that also gives us smoother ride because the weather is always below us.
Right.
So the computer actually takes into account the winds, the temperature, and the weight of the aircraft and everything. And then makes a calculation, the optimum level. The optimum level is 400, but on this direction we fly at 3890.
So the computer is doing the flying, even up here now.
And right now the autopilot is flying the aircraft, and the computer is driving the autopilot.
Does the computer know what runway we're landing on?
Yes, because that's all programmed in the system.
Got it.
It knows the runway, it knows the minimums, it knows the speeds.
We'd been planning this trip for months, and my heart began to beat just a little faster as we talked with the tower, taxied, and then took to the skies at 160 knots in the calm of a clear September night. While some pilots, flight attendants, and other aviation experts may not think twice about a seemingly ordinary takeoff, for us, it was a moment in time from the city in the sky we'll never forget.
Hey guys, this channel is a celebration of all things travel, so hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment or question, share this video, like it, rate it, whatever. Believe me, it all helps. Thanks for watching.